Candidate indicator selection for DSF global criteria required analysis of results using a standardized rubric across each of the candidate indicators. I'm Dr. Marty Matlock. The survey for indicator candidates was distributed through March through July of 2017 with over 22 responses from organizations around the world. This is a Likert scale approach where we ask values for each of the candidate indicators for the operations, for their customers, and for precedent. Are they measuring them or not? And then we scored accordingly. So we used a constructive rubric of scoring where we had 1 to 4 priority across the x-axis for operator priority, 1 to 4 priority across the y-axis for customer priority, and then we had a progressive scoring then across the diagonal where you see 5, 6, and 7. So an indicator that was important to the operator and the customer scored a 7. And we recorded these based upon the category of responses for each of the responders and their supply chain representation. Responses look like this. In this case, 16 organizations responded to the question, the indicator soil nutrient testing is conducted routinely. 75% thought this was a high priority for operators, with just sort of varied responses on whether they thought this was important to the customers. We had some organizations that were industry producer representation, so we split the colors, as you can see. So that's an orange and green color. Or we had a producer processor, and we had cooperative processors. And so that's what those hemisphere colors represent. That these were hybrid organizations. We also asked the question, are they currently testing? We had one response that answered both yes and no, which we added up. So we ended up with a matrix score of 5.06, and we took the total score divided by the number of response. So we ended up with a matrix score of 5.06 with just under 50% saying they currently test. The tabular responses look like this. We have the total response score, the data points, matrix score, priority score, which is the average, then proportion that are currently measuring, rounded up. For soil nutrient test high-level indicators, quality and retention of soil, biodiversity, water quality and availability, working conditions. These results are available at DSF at the Indicator Report website. They're also available at the website that I'll share with you at the end of this presentation. So we took the top candidate indicators, 3 or 4, if there's a natural break, and we asked which of the top 3 or 4 are most implementable. We measured or are most effective for implementation. So we asked, can they be implemented? Using low to high, 1 to 3 score. Can they improve the indicator? Are they effective at improving the global criteria? That is, will improving the indicator improve the global criteria? 1 to 3, low to high. And then, are the producers collecting data on the indicator, or is the indicator used in another effort? So we used a 1 to 3 score for low to high there as well. And the results are fairly impressive in the breakout. As you can see, the top 4 soil quality and retention indicators, soil quality is maintained or improved by good management practices, scored 12 in effectiveness, the efficacy test. Nutrient management plan is in place, scored 12 as well. Native vegetation is preserved where possible to improve on-farm biodiversity, was the highest scoring biodiversity indicator. For water availability and quality, we had 2 facets of water quality that emerged. Water quality testing is routinely conducted. An effluent management plan is in place to minimize impacts to water quality. Similarly, working conditions, we saw 3 facets of working conditions emerge as highly efficacious, that is, highly effective indicators. Employees are paid a living wage, number of accidents per year are monitored, plans are in place to reduce the risk of employee exposure to pesticides and chemicals. These are the candidate indicators then that we're now assessing using an online comments period, which will proceed through October of 2017 in anticipation of the Ireland meeting of the board at DSF, where the final candidates will be identified and the process for measuring them will be proposed. Please see the website www.dsfglobalcriteria.org for more information and to comment on these candidate indicators. We need your comments to make this an effective process. All comments will be reported anonymously, but they will be aggregated and analyzed and are a core element to the discussion for this process. Thank you.